Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and today we got some new news for Pokemon Sword and Shield. We got some new Gigantamax forms that were revealed, and if you guys didn't know, you can catch Gigantamax Pokemon by participating in max raid battles, which I am a big fan of as it gives you more content to do after you beat the game, so nice post content. Now the first one that was revealed, and it's easily my favorite just based on design. Okay, I don't know if it's easily my favorite based on design, because there's a funny one out here, but I love Gigantamax Charizard. The way it looks, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. It's absolutely sick. It just makes Charizard look sick, and it reminds me of playing Pokemon Snap back on my N64 when I think if you threw the apple at Charmeleon and you bopped it into the lava, it evolved into Charizard. It kind of reminds me of that. Something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but that was so many years ago. Either way, it has a blazing fire inside its body. The flames inside its body have become stronger, and now fire erupts from its mouth. I said Meowth, sorry. Spoilers. Mouth and horns in addition to its tail. It seems that the strength of the flames increases when Charizard roars. Its flaming wings sear any opponent. Charizard's flames have become enchanted with Gigantamax power and now form wings on its back. These wings are hotter than magma, and Charizard can fire them off to scorch its opponent. This is insane. Like, this would kill everybody if it's hotter than magma. But yeah, I'm a big fan of how it looks. I'll talk about the move in a second. But by the way, guys, I didn't say thank you in the video, but thank you for 199,000 subscribers. My goal is 200K, and we're just there. So I appreciate everybody who's leaving likes, comments, subscribing. Much love, much love. We're less than 1,000 away. And the G-Max move, G-Max Wildfire. I keep almost wanting to say, like, Meowth. I don't know what's going on with me. But fire-type attacks used by Gigantamax Charizard will change to G-Max Wildfire. G-Max Wildfire doesn't just deal damage to an opponent when it hits. It will also continue to deal damage for 4 turns to any Pokemon that isn't fire-type. So basically, it's a strong move. G-Max Wildfire, I mean, it sounds strong as hell. And much like a wildfire, it spreads, right? So it's like Fire Spin. Think of it as a stronger Fire Spin. I guess Magma Storm is the closest you can think of for that. But I don't think it's going to miss like Magma Storm. It's definitely not going to miss like that. I'm not clicking it if it misses like Magma Storm. But yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of how Charizard looks. Loved how it looked in the trailer. But let's keep going. Next up, we have Eevee. Now, apparently, Gigantamax Eevee is only available if you have the play records from Pokemon Let's Go Eevee on your Switch. So you have to have played Let's Go Eevee. And there's also Pikachu, which was revealed. You have to have played that as well to have it. So luckily, I have both on my game because Marlene wanted to play Let's Go Eevee. But ability, adaptability, that's the one we're going to be using. Obviously not Runaway unless they buff that to make it work like a Shed Shell. So you can switch no matter what, even if you're trapped by Arena Trap, Magnet Pole, Shadow Tag. Obviously only 2 of those would affect Eevee at the moment. But its luscious fur will enamor its opponents. The fur around its neck has become extra fluffy and luxurious thanks to Gigantamax power. Any opponent caught in its fur becomes enamored with Eevee and loses the will to fight. I mean, it is kind of cute. It's really, oh, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure how I felt about it. It just got, I mean, I jumped with Gigantamax and it's just getting bigger, but it just looks like someone didn't cut its fur. Gigantamaxing has caused Eevee to become more rambunctious than ever, and it will attempt to play with any Pokemon. However, it often ends up crushing its opponent due to its massive size. But its G-Max move, God, I keep saying Mew. Move, G-Max Cuddle. Normal type attacks used by Gigantamax Eevee will change to G-Max Cuddle. G-Max Cuddle doesn't only deal damage when it hits an opponent that the opposite gender of Eevee will become infatuated. So it's basically like a cute charm plus an attack in the same one. And we know how annoying it was, especially in game, man, when you hit those cute charm Pokemon with physical attacks. So I'm not sure in terms of competitive if I'll be using an Eevee. Now, I'm assuming stats are going to be a little bit different and whatnot. Then again, you are fighting a Dynamax Sabo with your Gigantamax Eevee, so I don't know how important these are going to be in terms of stats. At the moment, the only thing I remember about them is that they get like an HP buff, and that's about it. And the attacks are powerful, kind of like Z moves. But I'm sure because it's Eevee and Pikachu, maybe there'll be some. It's a specific Eevee. Maybe it's a reference to the Eevee that we actually had in the game, which was obviously stronger than a regular Eevee that we could catch in the game as well. This is my favorite one. It's not my favorite one, but it's Charizard my favorite one, but this one makes me laugh. But this is a Gigantamax Meowth, and look how long this... Why? It's like that meme, that long cat. Why? This special Meowth that has Gigantamax powers can be received as an early purchase bonus for Pokemon Sword and Shield by selecting the Get via Internet option and mystery gift from Friday, November 15, 2019 to Wednesday, January 15. So as long as you pick up the game before January 15, 2020 and you have Internet access, you can get a Gigantamax Meowth. Now, it makes sense, by the way, why Charizard, Eevee, Meowth, and there'll be Pikachu as well as we keep going. They're just, you know, popular Pokemon. The champion, I believe, in the game has Charizard. Obviously, Pikachu is the mascot. Eevee with Let's Go Eevee. Meowth is the signature, you know, team member of... It's not really the signature Pokemon of Team Rocket because it's not really considered their Pokemon. They're friends. They're a team. But Meowth is the signature team of that. But... it just makes me laugh. Oh, look at these. What are these little shapes on the top of it? Look at the way it fights. It has an elongated body and a giant shiny coin. Gigantamax has caused Meowth's body to stretch to astounding lengths, and the coins on its head also become massive. The giant coin can emit a torrent of Gigantamax power, filling the surrounding area with a powerful golden gleam. So when it comes out, you guys can see that. It can cause tremendous damage when it sharpens its claws. Meowth loves shiny objects, and when it sees skyscrapers lined with glass, it won't be able to resist the urge to sharpen its claws on them. This behavior can cause considerable damage, such as wearing down the exterior walls and breaking windows. That boy is a whole threat to society. But its G-Max move, G-Max Gold Rush. Normal type attacks used by Gigantamax Meowth will change to G-Max Gold Rush. G-Max Gold Rush deals damage to opponents, of course, so it's actually, you know, an attack. And I love that they have a little payday reference right here, but that's not all. It will also scatter coins all over the area, giving you considerable in-game cash bonus after the battle. So it's still an attack that it does damage, and it also confuses your opponent. So that's a big one. So that's like that's why you would use it in, I guess, a competitive battle. I'm assuming this Meowth is also a little bit different than regular Meowths, stats-wise. I could be wrong though. Again, I don't know how much they get when they actually Gigantamax, like what are the buffs that they get besides the HP, but the reason you use it is because, you know, it'd be a move that confuses. And in-game, you get them dollars. So, I mean, that's worth it to use in-game. Next up, this is the one that I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense for Butterfree. And I mean, my main reason behind it making sense for Butterfree is I felt like Butterfree was kind of like, you know, forgotten. And that's not a reference to Ash giving it away for the pink Butterfree. That episode made me cry as a kid. But it's more so when we got Mega Pokemon, right? You know, we got Scyther and Pinsir. We got a whole bunch of Gen 1 Mega Pokemon. And we got Beedrill, which is great. Beedrill was a pretty bad Pokemon. It's not that it was bad, it wasn't good. I guess that means it's bad. Sure. Okay. So it was a bad Pokemon, right? But then they just kind of forgot about Butterfree. And Butterfree, I feel like, would have made an excellent Mega. Has a decent move pool, good ability. They could have made it even better. But we do have a Gigantamax form for Butterfree here. Kind of looks like Mothra. But with just the ability Compromise. Its scales release a blinding light. Its most notable feature is its blinding wings, which have grown to gigantic proportions. The light of its wings comes from their scales, which can inflict paralysis, poisoning, or sleep on its opponents. These scales are Butterfree's most effective weapons. And I like how that's like a reference to, you know, poison powder, sleep powder, and stun sport, which you get all the time. But in the clip, I'll show you. Well, I can't show you in the set because I'll get copyrighted. But its massive wings can generate tremendous winds. Butterfree's vast wings can serve a wind strong enough to lift a 10-ton truck just by flapping. This wind also scatters poisonous scales across the area, so simply being near this Pokemon is very dangerous. So we'll talk about its G-Max Befuddle. Bug type attacks used by Gigantamax Butterfree will change to G-Max Befuddle. G-Max Befuddle doesn't only deal damage, so it's a damaging move, but it also scatters scales around opponents and causes them to become poisoned, become paralyzed, or fall asleep. As you can see right here in this screenshot, Obstagoon was put to bed, and apparently Sir Fetch didn't take damage, but was put to sleep. So I guess maybe it's a single target move in terms of damage, but it's a spread move in terms of the status that it can spread. So again, a double setting that could be interesting. I like that though. A nice little reference to Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Poison Powder. Those are all moves that I believe Butterfree gets it. It's like one of those moves that like you get it all the same level. If I'm not mistaken, is it level 13? Maybe it's not level 13. Maybe that's confusion. I just remember there was a time where I raised the Butterfree and it got all the levels at once. But last but not least, we got Big Fat Pikachu. Fat Pikachu makes a return. If y'all don't know about Fat Pikachu, you might be a little bit younger than me. But I know a majority of you guys, I mean, according to my demographics, 18 to 24, and then the other majority is 25 to 34. So y'all might know what I'm talking about. But Fat Pikachu was one of the original Pikachus, or the original Pikachu rather, back in Gen 1 before they decided to slim him up quite a bit. But we have, this is also only available, by the way, if you have Let's Go Pikachu. So I'm hoping it's a buffed up Pikachu, right? Not a regular Pikachu, but the buffed up Pikachu that we have from that game, which was already fast as it is. If that happens to be the case, I might not even Gigantamax it. I might just put a light ball on that Pikachu. Because is it even needed to Gigantamax if I can use that Pikachu in itself? But its tail stores electricity and it's super powerful. All the electricity it generates in its sacks and its cheeks is stored in the tail. In battle, it will strike opponents with its tail and send a jolt of electricity through them as great as any lightning strike. Excuse me. And as you can see, its tail is a little bit elongated, but also lit up right here. It generated far more electricity before. It became so powerful that now it can produce enough electricity to rival a power plant. However, using this electricity to help power people's homes seems difficult, as Pikachu can only remain Gigantamax for a short time. I mean, yeah, any Pokemon, 3 turns. So it's G move. It's G move, it's G Max move, G Max Volt Crash. Electric type moves are used by Gigantamax Pikachu, which change to G Max Volt Crash, and it deals damage, but it also paralyzes all opponents. And right here, as you can see, it's in a double battle versus Mudsdale and Mimikyu, and both of them are paralyzed. So think about it as an electric type attack that actually has, excuse me, ooh, I need some water, but that actually has the added effect of glare. And I say glare over Nuzzle because if it was Nuzzle, then Mudsdale would not be able to be paralyzed. Now, I kind of wish they showed Mudsdale in an electric type as well, because if y'all didn't know, electric types cannot be paralyzed no matter what. Not by Body Slam, not by Thunder Wave, not by Glare, not by Nuzzle. You know, that was their buff they ended up getting. Now, not in this game, but before. But it would have been really cool if it says it can paralyze all opponents. Does that also mean that it can paralyze electric types? So, will the ability to paralyze electric types be back? That's something I am curious about. But yeah, I believe that is all the information we have. Let me open up Cerebi over here. Is that it? Yes. Looks like that's actually it. So that's all we got today. I was kind of expecting more, but I do like that there. So at this point in Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, I think it was Sun and Moon. We got a trailer at this point that revealed literally everything in the game. I can't show it, but literally everything in the game was revealed in that trailer besides Alolan Geodude and the Alolan Geodude family. That was actually the only thing I feel we did not know going into Sun and Moon. So I'm actually a big fan of how they're doing this, right? They're keeping things to themselves. They're making sure they don't spoil us on everything, but they're giving us a little bit of, flavor along the way. I kind of thought today we were going to be getting, maybe the official reveal of Impidimp, maybe 1 to 2 Galarian forms or new Pokemon in the game itself, which I'm pretty excited about, the fact that they're not even showing any new Pokemon. So that's cool. I'm going to run into this like it's a brand new game. I mean, it is, but like, the last game, I'm tired of running into stupid Zubats and Pikachus and all that stuff everywhere, though. Pikachu is something I'm going to have to see. But also thought we would get the evolutions of the starters, not the final stage, but the second stage today. And I was wrong. We ended up getting a few Gigantamax forms, but let me know your thoughts. You guys can leave them down below. Again, I love the way Charizard looks. I absolutely love the way Charizard looks. Meowth makes me laugh. Pikachu, I like its ability, I think, the most, next to Butterfree. But that's about it. So I'll see you guys next time. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Got a whole bunch of daily Pokemon content, and the list is kind of just stacking up. So yeah, goodbye, my friends.